So is part 2 going to recapture the glory, or is Spud Wars still going to be the best one ever? Stay tuned. We got a lot to talk about. And on top of that, we have the Ultimate Racing League to talk about the upcoming season and City Pigeon to help straighten out crazy racing in Upland. You don't want to miss all these shenanigans.
And more. I was muted. Was I muted? Oh. Yeah.
The UPX Podcast with the property expert. If it's happening in Upland, it's the place you want to check first. With your host who's stupid to win and thank me later. Bringing the strategy, news, and cool charts with all the data. This is Upland, where the metaverse goes down. Genesis, San Fran, to Rio, and all around. Don't miss a week, you never know what they'll say next. It's the Upland Property Experts, baby, UPX.
Welcome to the Upland Property Experts Podcast, episode 266. I'm your host, Too Stupid to Win, and as always, joined by ThankMeLater. How we doing this evening, brother?
What up? Do you think we're going to have to change our names to Ultimate Property Experts?
No.
Oh, okay.
Because we got more words.
Oh, okay. And we're more OG.
Hey, I'll fight it.
More, hey, dude. I know. Dude. Did you play? I put a test. Hold on. Did anybody even play the game I put in there? I gave you, if you're in the use, you got to scroll up. I put a pre-alpha build. If you're in the use, you got to go up to the Gen chat here, and I'll reply to it. Let me see if I can reply to my own message. Reply here. Here. I put a pre-alpha, just like dirty build. But again, just go click it. I clicked earlier. Dojos. Yeah, I'm excited. Dojos are going to be cool. But man, this is going to be a jam-packed episode.
Yeah.
Oh, he's already here.
Yeah.
He's early.
His meeting must have ended early, so we're good to go.
I mean, I am very excited. I got all the good tingles. I brought out the bling, like I'm representing.
So what are the bad tingles?
The bad tingles? Totems.
Yeah.
Totems. That was the bad tingles.
Right.
You asked.
I know. I asked. That's my fault. That's my fault.
That was a bad tingles. Like I had bad tingles on those.
But I love you got your Miles B chain on, your Upland hat, and your grandpa sweater. Things are rocking.
Oh yeah. No, it's sublime here.
Is that a turtleneck or just a black shirt? I can't tell.
No. Okay. Yeah, that's fair. No, just a normal, no turtleneck would have been good. I got you.
Uh-huh. Yeah, there you go.
I don't know that. So I guess I still have some questions, which I guess is probably good because we got the one and only X1 here to explain. And so I am curious. He did tease. There was rumors that he had typed in Spud Wars 2. We had that. Somebody said that they saw it and then it disappeared, which makes me wonder if who.
And then he was on the show and then he teased us and he said he couldn't promise us nothing, so he delivered.
Yeah. And what is it? Tom Holland, was he the one that famously gave a spoiler for like one of the big Marvel movies? Like I feel like X1 like typed that and they're like, no, we're not ready to announce Spud Wars 2, and they had to go delete it. We could ask him. He's in. Why are we not bringing on?
Because you're talking. Because you're talking.
Oh, okay.
So if you haven't heard, Sparklet Wars was announced today. So
we're excited.
Very excited, and X1 is able to make some time for our two nonsense selves to join us and talk some Sparklet Wars. What's up, X1?
Hi, everyone. Thank you. I feels like I was just here. Wasn't I just here a few weeks ago?
You were just here.
You were just here.
Told us about Sparklet Wars when you were here last time. We wouldn't have had to go back.
We could have been more efficient, I'm sure. So, no, good to be back. Thank you very much for having me.
So
that's what I heard. That's what I took from that.
So Sparklet Wars was announced. It sounds amazing.
Yeah, the team has been working really hard on it for a while now. It's been something that has been a personal favorite of mine that's been worked on in the background. Everyone's really excited. What's more, I think we're really excited about the reception that it's received so far, whether you see comments on the YouTube channel and Discord, on Twitter, accepted as the what's it called? The feedback. That's the word I'm looking for. It's late. The feedback has been wildly positive, and it's just happy to see that players are excited about it as we are.
And so the key thing that everybody's excited about, they're like, well, you only get one pass and there's only going to be 600, so 200 per faction. Now going into future seasons, I know we haven't even got the first one over, but as the Upland team learns more, there will be more people that can participate each war season, or is it going to be kind of limited each season?
It will be limited, but we're slowly going to open it up. So we're taking the first couple iterations here of wars to iron out everything, to make sure it's running correctly, to see how players react, how they strategize, how they play, and then fine tune things from there. So because this is our first one, because it's beta, we specifically very much limited it to 200 perfection.
And you did say that we can trade these passes so you can get the faction that you want. Are these going to be able to be sold in the legit stores, or it's only tradable?
They should be sellable in the legit stores as well. Really, we limited everyone to one. If you notice the thesis, the theme of the entire Sparklet Wars, the ethos is collaboration. So
right.
It was the same with Spud Wars. When you go back and look at that, the key to winning was collaborating. And so even right out the gate, hey, I got Crypto Knights. I don't want Crypto Knights. I want Purge Pirates. Well, you're going to have to collaborate. You got to go, find someone else with that, trade, swap, make deals with them. So it's all about collaboration, and it's exciting. I think from what we're seeing, teams are you guys on a team already? Are you putting together a team?
No comment.
No comment. Please don't show our hand yet. No comment.
Yeah.
You know what? We might not even play. I mean, it's cool, I guess. Like,
but it's not Spud Wars.
It's not Spud Wars.
There's no trailers.
No trailers.
Oh, but I already got some devious plans brewing. If I had one gripe, I'll be completely honest,
sure,
is that it should have been in San Francisco. I get it. Tokyo, it has the newer player base. It's more expandable to the newer players. But for me, if we want to talk about ethos, if we want to talk about a true, Spud Wars Part 2, to me, it really should have been hosted in San Francisco, the Genesis City. This is a brand new citywide feature. I don't know. I feel a certain kind of way that it's Tokyo versus San Francisco.
Sure. No, that's fair. That's fair feedback. Keep in mind, though, this is open beta, so it's technically not full release. Full Genesis release may.
Okay. I will be. Then that will keep me at bay for like, hey, we're still in beta. The full Genesis release has a chance to then be in the Genesis City. That sounds like some making.
That's
marketing
not a promise.
Spin.
That's just.
No, it's not a promise, and it's a lot of marketing BS spin. But I appreciate it. I appreciate the dance. So
you're 1999ing me to the 2000 millennium.
Don't be a beta hater. No, I'm hating because now I got to go buy. Hey, which means you got to go talk to your boy Dirk. He promised me the winnings from that game. Still not paid.
Oh, that's all right. I will follow up. Actually, let me write it down. I will follow up.
Tell him I need that money because I got to go buy property in Tokyo now because apparently that's where this is happening. So I got to go drop some UPX in Tokyo.
Yeah, I'll pass that along. I'm curious, you guys, reading it through, you guys were OGs with Spud Wars. I know you guys were big advocates for it coming back. What was your first impressions? Like, what is the biggest thing that stood out to you? What is a mechanic that you like that you're seeing, and maybe then something that you don't like?
Yeah. Do you want to go? You want to take this one?
I figured you'd jump all over it first, but I did. I did like, it just wasn't with the chest for the defense that it was 1-for-1, that, hey, if you have 2 structures, it could actually take out 2 cannons. So I like that there, at first I'm like, oh, there's 250 chests, there's 250 cannons. It's just going to neutralize it. But depending on how people set up their cannons, you can counteract that. And you could have a chest take out 2 or 3, depending on the radius and depending on what's going on by it. So I did like that. And then the carts, I like that only 25 carts per faction. So, well, that was a question. It says 25 carts. Is that 25 carts per faction or 25 carts in total for the war itself?
No, it's per faction.
Okay. Just making sure. That's what I thought. But yeah, it's still 25 carts per faction. And so you're going to have to strategically release those. So there's a lot more strategies than just building cell towers and then destroying cell towers, because that was a fun strategy in itself. It adds so many more elements to the strategy aspect, and then everybody being able to build the superstructures and build them together.
So the superstructures are those permanent or temporary? And I only have had a chance to like get the high level pieces of it, so I apologize if it was in the paper, but
no worries. They're temporarily available to build for the 1 week that the war happens in Tokyo, restricted to Tokyo. Once they are completed, they are permanent, unless you decide afterwards to destroy them.
Oh, that's cool. So because in Spud Wars, it was all the structures you built were temporary, right? And so this is an opportunity then. Will these structures have any value as far as like neighborhood collection? So like if you are building out a node, like how will that play into like diversity of collection? Because like that's going to take the building spot of say like an apartment that could be decorated, etc. So like is the advice, hey, build these in your node, or hey, maybe go pick a different neighborhood that you don't want to build a node, because from a collection ability, how's that going to play out?
Yeah, so that that decision we're leaving primarily up to neighborhoods. Like, hey, do you like these? Do you not like these? If it were me, and I'm speaking as a personal, if I was a player, I would want to keep mine, because who knows, next time around Sparklet Wars comes back to my city, I already have a superstructure there that might be a huge advantage for me. That might be a property that I could sell, maybe. That's just me speaking. I mean,
wait, is that because that's a big that technically would be a very big announcement that says in the event that this circles back to Tokyo in the future, that the existing superstructures and the existing ones, and because this will help maintain value after the event. If you're saying, hey, in the rotation of cities, when it gets back to Tokyo, if it gets back to Tokyo, all of the structures, all of these ornaments will have playability in future.
Yeah. So one thing that we made sure to reiterate. So this is kind of the kickoff. So a lot of people, or some people we're seeing say like, well, I've got to buy this for USD. There's no secondary market for this yet. Well, over time, there will become a secondary market, because every asset here in Sparklet Wars is reusable in the next Sparklet Wars that happens. So your map assets, your ornaments, you will be able to take them for different factions into the next Sparklet Wars. So you could see after, say, a year of Sparklet Wars happening, the market that is out there for Sparklet War assets for different factions and stuff like that. Now, every Sparklet Wars, we will be dropping new assets, and we will also over time be releasing new assets, additional assets with new abilities as well.
Wow. I mean, that's incredibly compelling for these assets for sure. I mean, that makes them, I'm very excited now. I definitely need that money from Dirt, because I got some spending to do. Because that's really, and then that's going to be, I can see that once Upland really gets in that like asset movement, like I can picture in my mind now, like war trailers, having like trailers full of like all of your Sparklet War things that have to be transported. Hey, we're across the sea, and I got, 6 weeks to get all my assets back to, like, I don't know how soon ahead, like if at the beginning of the season you announce what city the Sparklet War is going to be in to give people time to like set up and move assets, like has the team decided like how much warning is the community going to get on like what the next city is?
Yeah, not yet. We're really taking this first one and seeing how it goes, and then we'll make adjustments from there. It has been discussed, definitely, like when do we announce it? How far ahead of time do we announce at the beginning of season for the next off season, or do we wait until the last week of the season to announce the off season stuff? But I think what we're doing is I think the best thing for us to do now is to wait, see how this goes, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah, that's very fair. This gave me all the good tingles. I mean, to say it's the biggest gamification, I mean, this is bringing Spud Wars into a permanent fixture. Sparklet Wars, I think, for me, especially now working with in part with the Spark Exchange, which maybe if we have time, we got to figure out how to get that back up and running, because I feel like Spark Rental and the need for Spark Rental is about to skyrocket. And so I know that's one thing I'm working with Stosh to help get that set back up. But we can talk about that maybe offline. I know that there's a ton of people in the community that would love to see the Spark Exchange come back in one form or another.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I would assume that is a Spark, because I'll get out. Hold on. I actually have a prop for this. Hold on. Give me 1 second.
So did you stick around for all 7 hours of the extravaganza?
There it is.
I did. So I did put my kids to bed. That took like 30 minutes. But for 6.5, I had it on playing there. So I was doing other things while like I had headphones on. So
yeah,
stuff. But
hey, 30 minutes to get kids down. That's impressive. Nice job there.
It's my own personal Sparklet Wars every single night.
Because I know podcast night, my wife says like, oh, this is going to go on for a good hour. I'm like, really? She goes, every Thursday when you're not back here. I'm like, sorry.
It's insane. Tinfoil hat. ThankMeLater.
Tinfoil. This is the tinfoil top hat. So my conspiracy theory is that I know that this asterisk here, this is not serious, but the changing of how Sparklet can be staked specifically because of cars has impacted the UPX Spark Exchange ability to operate, because those transactions cause essentially errors in the code and there's no way to separate them out. So the transactions that are for charging cars versus building on buildings, they use the same markers. There's no way to tell the difference. And so that ends up throwing errors on our side, which is why that shut down. Now, my tinfoil top hat is saying Upland doesn't care to fix it because they're going to introduce their own UPX Sparklet market. True or false?
I am not aware, nor have I ever heard of that. So,
okay.
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay. Because tinfoil me later.
Yeah, I'm not aware of the specific situation, but I know the developer, and I've even met with Stosh myself, and I know that they're aware of what's going on. And
they are, and there's emails and whatnot going on outside of that. I just wanted to take that to put, hey, here's my tinfoil top hat kind of moment. I don't think that that's the case. I want to see it back up and running. And I definitely want to get it before the Sparklet Wars, because I need to rent some Sparklet too. So
very cool. Can I tell you one of the things that I was most excited to see? And when the development team showed us all, it was like, whoa, that is really cool. Is in the game, you can actually see the different radiuses and their colors
circles
for players. So you're not going in blind. You don't have to use a tape measure or anything like that. You have the radiuses, you know what is included there. And that's something cool. It'll be interesting to see if maybe that's a feature we can use elsewhere, but it does make Sparklet Wars even more real, I think.
Yeah. And just like
go ahead.
ThankMeLater, I figured you'd be super geek because 1, they put the radiuses in so you can see it. 2, they even gave you a cheat sheet about the points that it gives you here. So you don't have to do any of it yourself.
That. So this is one of the best, and it's interesting because it's one of the first comms that as soon as I saw it, I clicked it immediately. In fact, I think I was one of the first to like react to the post, I saw it pop up on my phone. I was like, Sparklet Wars. And I was like hitting the emojis after you gave them underneath. I was like, I'm on it. I actually read the article, and like the cheat sheet definitely helped me. The radius thing got me really excited. For those who weren't around in Spud Wars, there was actually a really clever team of people that put together a third-party app that would essentially mimic and tell you the radiuses. So you'd put in the data, and it would give you the radiuses and things. So I'm really glad that that's all in game. So yes, I'm very excited about that.
Yeah, I think it was when they showed it, when the team showed us, it was like, wow, that's cool. Love that. So let me what faction are you guys leaning towards? Can you say, not say? Are you partial? They all have their own creeds. Wait, can I assign faction? Can I tell you what factions I think you'd be a part of?
Okay, yeah. That you can do.
Okay, so for everybody, we've got Cypher Cyborgs. They're like the future. They're very calculated, right? Robots almost, right? They like use data. Their motto is evolve, adapt, dominate. That may be too stupid to win. I don't think so, though. No, I'm not going to give that to too stupid to win. ThankMeLater, your job maybe could put you in Cypher Cyborgs, but I'm going to skip that one. I don't think either of you are Cypher Cyborgs. We then have the Purge Pirates. So Purge Pirates, they're super. I mean, they're pirates. They're wild. And what is there? Theirs is like, let me find it here. Yeah, theirs is take what's ours, leave none for the rest. So pirate. I think that's ThankMeLater. I'm gonna give that one to ThankMeLater is a pirate, baby.
What?
Little Jack Sparrow. You're not a Jack Sparrow coming off a ship into the water.
Jack Sparrow did some selfless acts too, though. He wasn't all about.
Oh, it doesn't mean you don't have to be a selfless pirate. You could be a nice pirate.
I can't speak to any teaming. It's too early, and honestly, especially as something as critical as this, we are not tipping our hand at this point. Because if we were like, yeah, we're gonna go Cyber Cyborgs, the price of those ones will be just too damn high. So we're not.
That's true. Yeah, that's good point. And then I would say I think Crypto Knight is too stupid. He's like a gentleman. He's a knight. He's got I see him in a tournament, jousting and stuff. So secure the wealth, defend the future. That's too stupid.
So now will the factions stay the same each season? Like these are the permanent factions?
So these are the permanent factions. Each season it'll be the same 3 factions. Obviously, the assets and stuff will change and stuff like that. But these are the permanent factions. But you do have to get a new pass. This pass is only good for this season.
Sure.
You'll have to get a new pass next season and so on and so forth.
Well, now that's going to be interesting to see because then, like, let's say the Purge Pirates dominate this season. Like, will their assets be worth more? Or at what point do you start to have like the underdog effect of like, hey, and do you rotate? Like, and then if you rotate, like you're going to have to rotate assets. So it makes sense to like, once you pick a faction now to kind of like stick with it. But then at a certain point, if like there's a group of really strong people that are dominating, those assets are going to start costing so much that somebody could come in and, like be Purge Pirates and switch teams and all of a sudden become cyborgs and buy out all the cyborg stuff. And then is there any
because the next season you have to get the passes. It's just because you got the pass this time. Next season you get another pass and you could get a completely different one, so you'd have to trade. So it depends.
It's gonna be absolutely fascinating and definitely the most gamified anything that I've seen Upland. It's definitely since Spud Wars. I love that the structures are kind of like the unique structure. And I would imagine, so the question I was asking more specifically is for the neighborhood rating challenge. Will these count A as unique structures and then B, these require, and I actually don't know how they compare Sparklet hours wise to other buildings, like how it compares to an apartment complex. But my understanding of the scoring is essentially like how many Sparklet hours you put in to a neighborhood would go towards
I'll be honest, I'm not sure. I'd have to check on that for neighborhood ratings. I do know. I don't imagine that they would, only because the amount of, these superstructures, they if you max stake on them today, They take 3.5 days to build. And what are they? 40,000 spark hour or 40,000 hours, I think is what they're set at, with a 5,000 max. So they're really like, you're going to have to coordinate with your faction to get these built. For that reason, I'm not sure, but don't quote me on that. Nothing. I'm not aware of any decisions on that. I'm not sure that I think that would probably screw up all of the neighborhood ratings if you were to include that.
Okay, that's fair. Well, how many Sparklet hours? Does anybody know off the top of their head how many Sparklet hours just stay in an apartment complex?
Nowhere close to 40,000.
Oh, okay.
It's like,
and by the way, 5,000 was the minimum. 5,000 Sparklet is the minimum stake.
That's the max stake. So that's
max
the like the max amount you can stake on it. Yeah.
But then at that rate, how does that equal 3.5? Anyway,
5,000 spark hours. So then you times 5,000 by 24, and
okay.
Yeah, there you go. Math. You'll get the mathing.
950. Because that's the other thing is, now when you're buying these properties in Tokyo, you're gonna have to buy bigger properties. Is there unminted properties in Tokyo?
I think there might be a few.
Not many, if any.
Huh. I'm debating on whether or not I need to fly to Tokyo.
You can buy everything to mint. Gotcha.
Yeah, if it's worth minting, but if it's not. Anyway. Happy Deck says 950 for the size of these structures. Are these structures wasn't there like a testing ground where you can like test the builds to make sure that your structure fits on that?
There's a playground where you can go in and check builds.
Are these super structures going to be included in that?
I'm not sure. That's something that I could check with. That's a great idea to include them over there.
Yeah. Apartments 5,800 spark hours.
Oh, yeah. So these super structures would really skew the numbers.
Yeah, so I don't see them being included, as in he would just break the
win.
Well, I mean, it could be something like a 10%, because again, like that, like add reduce these superstructures so they count as like 10% of it, which would then put it in line with an apartment, which I think would be very reasonable. Yeah.
Since you said 10%, that's one thing. Before I go, I'd like to, just for everyone listening, if you've not read it, the announcement or anything, just go over the scoring, because the scoring here is unique. It's a progressive scoreboard essentially. So there's 3 scoreboards total. 2 scoreboards are in the game. 1 scoreboard is outside the game. The scoreboard that is outside the game is your personal contributions to your faction. So that's where everyone's names are going to be listed by their faction, and then your ranking is going to be there. The types of stuff that will obviously, how you attack, how you defend, the points you get your team will all contribute to that. Whether or not you've, how much you've staked on a superstructure will all go towards your individual score. Inside the game, there's going to be 2 leaderboards. One is like a live leaderboard of what the faction scores are at this moment right now. So you can always see how it evolves, where factions are at compared to each other. The second one is the official scoreboard, and that is the one that at the end of day 1, 10% of the day's total faction score is going to be added to that leaderboard. That's the leaderboard that determines whether or not you win or lose. Day 2, 20% of your total faction score from the day goes to that leaderboard. You bank those points essentially. Day 3, you bank 30, 440, 550, 675. On the last day, that's when you bank 100% of your points for that day. The point here, or the strategy here, is to make it so that players can't just, or they're incentivized not to just put their structures and their ornaments down and then leave them. It's to move, counter move, adjust strategy, maximize your points as much as you can for the day, see where other factions are going. How can we take them down for that day? This is a 10% day. Oh, it's a 50% day. This matters even more. We've got to really, really get it together here. Stuff like that. So I think it's an interesting way to do this. I think it's going to make it really exciting. I think it's going to keep everybody active, very active for that entire week, paying attention. Everyone's going to be generals by the end of this week, basically.
Yeah, so there is definitely some confusion here on how, if it's a 5,000, and I actually thought it was, wait, can you scroll to that part where it says about that, too stupid? About the cost of the minting? because there's definitely some confusion because the numbers aren't math. The math isn't mathing. So with the max of 5,000 spark. Oh, well, now that doesn't say 5,000 sparklet.
Oh, my bad. A dev actually just pinged me. That is the max is 500. That math will add up. So the max is 500 there, not 5,000 on the spark.
500 spark, which would be 50,000 sparklet. Like this is incorrect. Something is here, and it's saying
it's the 5,000 spark. A dev just DM'd me. There was an extra 0 added, so the maximum stake is 500 spark.
Sparklet or spark?
Spark.
Okay, which is
500,000.
500,000 sparklet.
Yeah, the spark hours the sparklet can get.
Yep. It's 500,000 sparklet hours you can stake.
Holy shnikes.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's not going to matter. At that rate, that is 500,000 sparklet. If you can spike 500,000 sparklet, man.
If you hit refresh, too stupid, it should update.
We got somebody. We got real time. Let's
see if it does. Try again.
Oh,
there it is. Woo! There it is. Fixed.
Okay.
Right there. So yeah, apologies. It looks like that the extra 0 was added there.
Okay. So, and wait, why is this not all in Sparklet? Because in the game,
the number's so large.
But like that should help. Like it was. That's why it was like this sounds like as much as an apartment. I was like, I think apartments are like 40,000, but they're 40,000 Sparklet hours, and this is 40,000 Spark hours, which is really 4 million Sparklet. Like these are really superstructures. Like I didn't comprehend that because you look at these numbers and you convert them to Sparklet, like it doesn't seem. And so we're saying
40 million Sparklet.
Calculator.
40 million Sparklet.
So 500 times 24 times
12
3.4
times 3.4 is 40,000.
Yeah. Okay. So it's not. So it's whoever can. So I mean, who's got Big A's number? Somebody call Big A. This is definitely a Big A opportunity. Also, gosh, Stosh, I know you don't watch the show, but my dude, we got to get the Spark Exchange back up and running because we need millions and millions of Sparklet.
And I did like the clarity on a lot of things in this article. You know, a lot of times the articles are lacking and it leaves us asking a lot of questions, but you know, this was a very detailed article that explained a lot of the stuff that's going to help people in the initial days, and it's going to be interesting watching all the players figure it out.
Yeah, I think this is the beta. It's the perfect beta. It's why it's limited. Help players learn it, and then you know we can really hit the ground running next Sparklet Wars and go from there. What would be really interesting is Tokyo's a pretty big city with a lot of properties. I would imagine what like a Park City or a Tahoe. It would be like everything just right. It's like two lines or
everything
lines,
right on top of each other.
Right on top. There'd be battles everywhere. It'd be cool. So
okay. Question: how long? So if I start a superstructure, let's say that I start a bunch of superstructures. I have no intention of finishing them during the war because they're millions.
Yep.
At the end of the war, like, do I have a certain time to finish those structures after it, or
no? They will go away. So
if they're not completed by the end,
if they're not completed by the end, they are gone.
And it only lasts 1 week, or does it last the entire break of 2 weeks?
This one is 1 week, so it's the 20th to the 27th, Monday to Monday.
It's Monday to Monday. Okay. 20th to the 27th. Okay. So really, I mean, oh, wow, this is fascinating because like you're going to need at least 250,000 Sparklet day one to get it completed by day 7. And really you want 500,000 up. And like, I'm looking at Like I have 10% of that. Like I got 50,000 that I could put somewhere. But man, I need to find like 10 ThankMeLaters worth of Sparklet just to build one of these mega structures.
Yeah, and that's exactly the intention there. You got to coordinate. You got to pool your resources as a faction. You got to decide, hey, where are we going to build these? How are we going to build them? I think in the article there was a hint. Hey, maybe players will use these as decoy, but be careful because Sparklet is going to be precious here.
Okay, I do have a scoring question.
Yes, if it's built, hold on real quick. I do want to answer this because this is really freaking cool. Like these superstructures to me, I think are going to be super freaking cool as just like almost mini monuments. Like these are unique structures. I'm going to tell you that my faction, whoever it is, like I want one. Like I'm going to greedily say I want to lead the charge, and I'll put all of my Sparklet, and hell, I'll even buy Sparklet from people. But I want one of these superstructures. Even if I don't win, I want one of these superstructures. This is super freaking cool. Okay.
So we talked about the scoring of how the cannons neutralize 25% of an enemy faction within 25 meters. So say I put some cannons up, I go to bed, somebody in Australia gets up and puts chests into place, and I get up and then I move my cannons around, and this all happens within a day. So, you got your attack with your defense with a counter attack. How does that all score out for the day?
I know it's regularly updated, the live leaderboard, and I think it's a snapshot at the end of the day that is taken for the final score. So there will be a time that you got to make sure you get all your score in, optimize it, pay attention, and then the snapshot is taken then for the main leaderboard.
Okay. So it's at the end of the day, you gotta counteract the actions taken earlier. So it'd be a rush at the end of the day. So interesting.
You got to pay attention, got to be aware and engaged. To answer a courier's question, I was told by developers, I've not seen it yet on a property, I've only seen the screenshots, that it was modeled. It's bigger. It's slightly bigger than the apartment. Don't quote me on that. That's just what I was told.
Like the base.
But yeah, it was slightly bigger than the apartment structure. So,
okay. Couple quick questions on other topics really quick before we get out of here. The Wonderland season collections, it doesn't look like that score's updating lately.
Wonderland seasons collection. It should update. It updates like once or twice a day, I think is what it was. It should be. I know that there was some issues on the back end, even with the NFLPA. Some of the collection scores there, they got sorted out today. I think the same thing was probably affecting that collection scoreboard. Should be fixed here, I'm sure, in the next day or so.
Okay.
New Wonderland items just dropped. The collector's pass, the new collector's pass, where you had to burn 4 of them to get the new one. That one, the special edition, that one just dropped today, so that'll apply definitely to the Wonderland collector score.
Yeah, it's been stagnant for
I'm glad they got updated. Well, while I wasn't sad that I was like first or second without having to do anything, I am glad that it got correctly updated, because I was like, I should not be at the top. I haven't participated in Wonderland nearly as much as people like Shaq, and she wasn't near the top, and now she is, rightfully so. I definitely will have to pick up my game. I am curious. So while we have the season pass rewards, obviously selfishly, I'm curious, what is, like, at the end of each season, are the overall collectors getting some reward as well? Because
right now, the overall collectors is just a prestige thing. So we're focused on season in and season out rewards. That's not to say there will never be something for overall collectors, but right now it's simply prestige.
Well, and to make it balanced, here's my suggestion is that it gets a badge, but it's just like, a top, it's like an overall collector's badge. And it upgrades at the end of each season. If you're in the top 3 of the overall, it just upgrades. So you don't keep getting more badges. But, especially as someone who, I've spent the last 5 years curating a top-notch collection of block explorers and other assets. Like and I'm really glad to see that is represented in my collector score. I really appreciate that. But at this point, it's just like, well, you're giving me a pat on the back, but there's really no benefit. I would love to see that represented, because here's the reality. I know Unspoken Bullet's coming for me. I know Jim is coming for me. I know Dizzy's coming for me. So I would like some way to at least represent on my account, hey, there was a time back in the day before
you were number one.
Yeah, before Big A came in and just was like, buy it all.
Yeah. So one of the things that we are doing, those are great suggestions. I will definitely pass those up. I think that's a great idea. Similar to that suggestion, though, the Wonderland. So when Wonderland season is over, on the scoreboard, it's going to freeze as a time shot. So you'll be able to see the rankings for each season as the year progresses, who won what season when. Maybe we could do something similar, like you said, for the all-time collector score. And but yeah, right now it's just prestige. It may change in the future, though, so stay tuned.
Okay.
On that one, did you guys see we did drop some leaderboard, or not some leaderboards, but some lists this week?
Yes.
The Block Explorer list was one of them. I think that was super helpful. What I like about it personally is the first time you have it all in one place. You can see the series, which is super cool.
Yep.
But beyond that, if I want to buy it, I can just click on it and it pops up the search screen for me, and then I can browse. When we get enhanced filters there, I think it'll become extra useful. But that's just the first step. These lists, we have them for city passes as well. Obviously, the Wonderland 24 collectors list is there and is updating as well. Eventually, the goal is to get all these things in the game. This is just that first step in that direction. So
loving it.
And then I was wondering if you could clarify on racing really quick.
Sure.
Just if you finish number 2 in the top series and you finish number 1 in the series right below it, and you finish number 6 on the below that, since you finished it would be more prestigious to finish number 2 in the overall championship because you get the badge, you get all that fun stuff. Yeah. So is that how it works? If you
win in the top, if you're in the top, who gets points?
Top 12.
My head, top 12 gets points. If you get points, you're going to be removed from every other leaderboard.
Okay. So if you weren't on the championship one, but you finished 13th on the second tier, but you finished second on the third tier, it would be the third tier racing that you'd get and then wipe everything. Okay.
Well, no, I mean, I think the real question is, so if I rank it all, let's say in the championship, so I come in 12th in the champions, which means I get champion points, but I finish first in the carts. The prizes for carts for coming first would be greater, I would imagine, than 12th place in
I get championship points, though.
I have to look back, but yeah, the point there is that you get championship points, and those are big boy. That's the big boy league.
That's why TML's a pirate. All right.
See?
Yep. Pirate's life for me.
Yeah, you want those championship points, regardless if you're 12th place or first place.
So if you get championship points, that counts.
Yeah, and the real intent is the championship series is for the championship racers. Imagine going to, a track meet that's just for fun for your community, and Usain Bolt shows up, right? Like, why am I running here? Like, this is no longer fun.
And for those who are new, our Usain Bolt is named City Pigeon. He is the Usain Bolt of racing.
Yeah.
And then, this announcement of Sparklet Wars, you set the bar high for 2025, but this is what you're coming out of the gate with.
Yeah, it's it's something, like I said, we've been working on for a while. So, and the development team and stuff has really been working hard. It's exciting. It's an exciting year. I tweeted out, I think before New Year, like, I have never been more excited professionally and personally, but professionally, than I am this year, at Upland. And that's truth. Okay.
That's true. No, that felt sincere.
That's not market speak. That genuinely, there's a lightness. There's an excitement at Upland that hasn't it's not like we've not been excited before, but it's like you can see things start to add up. You can see seasons starting to come together. You can see Sparklet is out there now in the wild, and we can do stuff with that. You can see the off seasons. There's a regular schedule, a regular cadence. You can see the onboarding of new players and strategic moves being made in that direction. So it's all really starting to come together. It's exciting. It's just an exciting time.
Yeah.
And Genesis weeks, what days?
Wait, if we confirmed it's definitely in Vegas again, right?
I think I don't see. I mean, it's not confirmed, but I don't see us. Vegas is just so convenient. We have offices there. It's very cheap for everybody to get to.
Well, I don't know if you heard, but I might be planning a secret surprise wedding at this Genesis week. So
very nice.
I'm going to ask Dirk to give me away. It's going to be fantastic.
And I'm going to officiate.
And he's going to officiate. It's going to be it'll be the first ever Upland wedding.
Hey, that's cool. Some commemorative block explorers for everybody.
Oh, yeah.
Instead of wedding, the wedding cake, guys. That's
there we go. Yes, exactly.
Very cool. Well, guys, thank you very much for having me on. I appreciate the opportunity.
Yeah, thank you.
Go over it. Everybody, this is a really big announcement. There's a lot in there. Make sure you go read it if you plan to play. We did a video where I review everything today. Over it's just like a 10,000 foot view. So make sure you go watch that. These guys, I'm sure you guys are gonna do content on it. Watch everything. It's gonna be exciting. It's gonna be it is beta. So there may be some hiccups. Be wary. That is a beta. It's a learning process. But this is the kickoff to really Upland 2.0, I think.
And you know what? You made an announcement of a war, and something that you put into the game didn't burn the whole community down and melt down that you had to make an adjustment to appease the community. So nice job there too. The team's done a great job. Yeah. Thank you so much for taking your time this evening to join us after hours. So we do appreciate that. Really do. Thank you so much, X1.
Yep. Thanks, guys. Have a good one. We'll see you later.
All right. See you later.
Ooh, man. How much do you think these are going to go for on the secondary market? Like, that's my immediate concern of like, can I even afford to play in this?
Hopefully people will be nice enough to at least trade, because I think
outright trading will be all right. Like, I think if you have a pass, like, I think people will be I think that there'll be enough like people that want certain ones that will be able to get it. I'm not also like the alliteration and everything. For those of you who've been around UPX world a while, I'm not saying that we started with like alliteration, crypto corner, and all these things. I'm just saying I like it. I'm just saying it sounds a lot like some things we were working on too. But the passes, I believe, are going to cost USD. Oh, dude, that's tomorrow. I'm so glad you
got to register.
I totally forgot. No, I'm on the Vulgar Uplander tomorrow, I think. I totally forgot about that. What time? Like, set a reminder for 4:50 p.m. Do that thing you don't want to do.
Alexa, play rock and roll.
What? Wow. I think it was after.
Oh, that's
I turned all mine. I renamed all of mine. Noon PST. Wait, noon PST is
2 p.m.
2 p.m.
Yeah.
Set alarm for 1:50 p.m. Do that thing you don't want to do.
Your do that thing you don't want to do alarm is set for 1:50 p.m.
Oh, thank you. And also, wait, why is my stop?
All right, we're going to bring on Mass Chef and City Pitcher. We're going to talk some racing here. What's up, Mass?
What are y'all doing,
guys? And what's up, Usain Bolt?
CP, what's up, brother?
What's going on, Mass?
How you guys doing?
Good.
So I got to tell you, first of all, I want to say Happy New Year to everybody. I hope everybody had a great New Year. And then I just also want to say one more thing. And that is prayers go out to everybody out on the West Coast dealing with wildfires in Los Angeles. All of our friends out there, prayers are up to you for sure. No. Anyway, so with that said,
Anyway, that just sounds so dismissive. Prayers to you, but anyway, I'm on to the
Well,
more
anyway,
important
back to what we care about because our
Racing.
houses aren't burning to the ground.
oh, you're killing me. Anyway, so let's talk racing. First of all, I just want to make sure that everybody knows that we have officially rebranded the Upland Racing League into the Ultimate Racing League, and that is so that we can bring in-game assets to the game of Upland, and they won't let us do that with the word Upland on anything. So we were not able to bring any assets in the game, and so that's the reason that we did that. So now we are the Ultimate Racing League. For those of you who haven't seen all the announcement yet.
And that opens you up to being able to do racing in other places.
Correct.
So, like, if somebody makes a layer 2 racing game and they want to run leagues, so if UPX World brings back its, really fun, super cool layer 2 racing, we can have an Ultimate Racing League experience in UPX World, something like that.
Absolutely. So that was the reasoning and the whole back end of that was more so we can kind of align with what our goals are and not be in competition with Upland for their name.
Fair.
That's a losing battle.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
With that said, let's start off talking about some Wonderland racing. We've got the finals coming up next Friday. Those are going to be airing on the Metaverse Racing News Network at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 11:30 Pacific next Friday afternoon. So make sure everybody heads out and checks us out there. Let's check out the leaderboards. We're going to start with the championship circuit, and surprise, surprise, CP on the top with 3,052 points. Now, this was updated this afternoon. So this is the most current leaderboard that's up there, not including any points that happened after the update occurred on the board. So CP with first place, Crowley in second with 2,729 points. Bejo in third, Cruzerito fourth, JH 2271 in fifth, San Mahoney sixth, Wander 1976 seventh, Risey eighth, Matsuda in ninth, Juan Pedro in 10th, a new driver showing up on the board there. Funky Beats in 11th, and Metaspook rounding out the top 12. Now, those will be the 12 drivers that go into the race, providing that the cuts happen the way that we think that they will. And we'll talk about that here in just a moment. Let's go ahead and move over to the 153 to 160 MPS.
Wow.
This is our 2E, 2R.
I'm right here. Can I ask you a quick question? When does this end, or has it ended?
It ends on Friday. It
ends tomorrow.
Ends tomorrow. Yeah.
So people do have a chance because wow, all you have to do is get 25 points in this, and you're.
You actually, I'm showing the top 12, but you only get paid up to 10th place. So, and the reason that I'm showing the 12 is so that you can see that, there's not much wiggle room there. So JH certainly has an opportunity to jump into the top 10 here. I'm assuming that though he's going to get cut from this board since he does have points on the championship board. So likely going to be cut from this one anyway. But this does open up an opportunity for people to get on the board. As this is the least raced section.
Mass, the racing league ends, or the season ends January 15th.
Yep.
And not tomorrow.
Not tomorrow. I'm sorry. You're right. Yes,
week.
that is correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So we have till next Wednesday. Wednesday will be the cutoff.
And what cars? So just for people's reference, if they're like 153 to 160, what cars?
That'll be a 2E, 2R. Primarily Series 2. Yep.
There's only 2 cars in that division.
Yep. And then we go down to the 133 to 152. This is going to be trucks. This is going to be Series 2. Series 4R, I believe, is in this category. So there's quite a few cars in this one. This is a pretty popular category. But Ja Rashad of the Fast Track Group running in first place, myself in second on this board, Scorpion King in third, Now she's going to be racing in the URL this season for the Stock Car Competition Series. So excited to see her up on the boards. Almost Human in 4th, aka Nine Fingers 5th, Mike Benzie in 6th. I see him on the track all the time. NER 00 in 7th, JH on this board again. Left Loff 2P in 9th, and Rose TYNT in 10th on this board. So still some opportunity to move there. And like I said, we're going to talk about the cuts here in just a minute. So this one is primarily vans. This is an interesting.
I like Picasso. Picasso's used to driving around in unmarked vans. That's what I'm taking.
Right. Yeah, this one's primarily vans with Picasso on the top. Loafers 2. Buman in 3rd. Dave America 4th. Scientist 5th. Cure 1 Coast in 6th. Almost Human in 7th. Coronicos. Oh, see, so you did that way better than I did. Crowley 27th and 8th, and Cohen 98 9th, and Seiler in 10th place on this board. And then we move to the ever exciting kart board. This one gets played a lot. There's kart races going on all the time.
I miss racing karts.
Yeah, Almost Human running number 1 right here with Ja Rashad in 2nd. A couple of the fast track guys, Picasso in 3rd, Cuddy Boo in 4th, Crypto something in 5th, Scorpion King.
I don't know that one either.
Yeah, no, got me. JH 22 in 7th, Foreskin in 8th, aka Nine Fingers 9th, and Mike Benzie 10th on this board as well. And so now let's talk about the cuts. And so I'm actually not going to show all the boards that we had because we did get some clarification from X1 during his segment of the show. So I limited it down to the removal by highest tier board. If I'm correct in that, CP,
Yeah.
Is that right? Yeah. So this looks
that's
like
the highest tier.
Yeah. So this looks like it's going to be the board that the cuts are going to come from. In this style, based on what X1 told us a little while ago. So if we look at this and you look at and we go kind of from right to left on this board, from championship circuit down to the carts. Championship circuit, if we look, we're going to see City Pigeon on there, Crowley, Bayho, Cruiserito, JH2271, San Mahoney, Wanderer, Risey, Matsuda, Juan Pedro, Funky Beats, and Meta Spook in the top 12 here. And that looks like, if this is how it goes, this will be the board that, pending whatever movement happens between now and Wednesday, of course.
This is a snapshot of right here, right now.
Correct. If it were to end today, this is how it would look. So then we move down into the next tier down, which is the 153 to 160. And this is a good example of what we were kind of talking about earlier. I'm in the 6th position on this board with 73 points, which is probably what I'm going to get paid out for, even though I'm in 2nd position on the next board down, which is the 133 to 152 board. So I'm likely going to get paid out for that 153 to 160 in this 6th place position.
So you almost want other people to beat you. You almost want
I almost want to get beat out in tier 2 races, yes. Or I need to race tier 2 to get a higher placement than I would if I was in the tier 3 board.
Yeah, see, that seems weird because again, from a championship points, like it makes sense from the championship, but from a prize payout, I would imagine your prize payout, like if you could choose which one you got paid out for, you would rather
right.
That doesn't make sense.
But based on how he explained how the cuts are being made, this is the board that it'll be made from.
Well, they did that because they want you to focus in one division. That's what they said at the beginning of this season. Correct. The changes of racing is we want racers to focus in what they think their best tier is. Because they didn't want me winning the whole thing again. So they tried to put stops in there.
Yeah.
So whatever they want you to do what you think is your best car and allow the lower ones for the people that are not as experienced. That's why X1 said earlier, if you went to a race and Usain Bolt's there, you know you have no chance. So they want to make it more fair for each division.
Yeah, because honestly, like what's the 90 to 132? I mean, that looks like if I get like any amount of points, like I could reasonably like get on that board.
Yeah, because I mean, you're going down clear down to Sergeant Loco right now would be in the 10th place position with only 5 points, considering the fact that Dave America, Almost Human, Crowley, Shelter Group, City Pigeon, Cruiserito, and Metaspook are all going to get cut from that board because of points on higher tiers. So that takes the 10th place spot all the way down to just 5 points.
Who gets a badge
to get on that board?
Who gets badges in this?
Badges only
in the championship.
Yeah, top 3 in the championship tier are the only ones that get badges.
So City Pigeon.
All
right.
And that's
no, not necessarily. I'd have
you got to race
win.
the final.
You got to race the final.
Still have to race
it's just
the
not
final.
the point.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
like,
so
is City Pigeon the best racer or just the most active?
I am very active and I am a very good racer.
I was going to say, I mean, if you look at all the numbers say he's number 1 in the world. That's it. That's what the numbers say. So you can't really argue with that. And now, yes, part of that is going to be because of the sheer quantity of races that he does. But another part of that is, in order to be on those boards in the number 1 position, you have to get first or second place in a community race to even acquire those points to get on that leaderboard. So,
gotcha.
Yes, it is quantity, but it's more quality of that as well, because you have to be in races that are more than 3 people. You have to be in races. You have to be, score in the top 3 of those races in order to acquire any points on this board. So, the numbers say he's the number 1 driver in the world right now. So you got to go with it.
I believe it. I believe it after he cleared, after he like ran it across the board. I mean, that to me, like, that's a solid stake in the ground of like, don't mess with me. Like, I will shit on you like a pigeon.
We just got to figure out how to make your schedule fit so you can join the Ultimate Racing League and compete there.
Yeah. I want to. It's just a hard one for me.
I've been trying to recruit for 3 months now, believe me. But hey, we all got to do what we got to do. So it certainly.
Maybe we'll do a racing after dark, and it'll be like an underground league, where it's like City Pigeon, but it's like super noir, and like it's like just foul mouth nonsense racing. Like karts, it's karts racing only, foul mouth, trash talking, like Howard Stern in the 90s running a racing league.
Well, that's what we do in our server with Tug that Crowley and I started. We try to get people to come in so we can talk while racing. It really makes racing more fun when you can kind of shit talk with everybody as you're racing them.
Well, I would be open to I think we want to host it. I think people want to see that. I would love to watch you race. Do you ever, I mean, I guess you're in your chat, but like, do you guys stream the races that you do or anything?
I was actually thinking about starting to stream on a YouTube channel. But I mean, it is also open that anybody could watch at any time.
Oh, that's true. So maybe, all right. Well, that I have I don't have any extra time. I don't know why I'm saying, I don't know why I'm lying and trying to say that I have extra time, that I'm going to do anything with it, but who knows?
The only thing with streaming would be it could be recorded and somebody can go back and watch it at a later time and go, ooh, let me see what I need to do on this track. Because
you mean heaven forbid anybody learn and be able to beat you? That's what you're saying? You're like, whoa, I want to keep all my secrets to myself?
I've been training Picasso the past few days for the race tomorrow, so yeah. He's definitely dropped his time a lot with some help.
All right. Well, who knows? Maybe I'll figure out a way to include that in there. Right.
All right. So let's talk the Ultimate Racing League for just a little bit. And this is our run of drivers that we have going on. We have 2 rookie drivers starting this season. And that is Scorpion King 3 and Ja Rashad, who are racing for the Fast Track Racing team. They are taking over for Den of Wolves Racing, who could not make this season. So they are going to be jumping in their place. So they are rookie racing this season. So I'm super excited. These guys, right now, Jal Rashad is ranked number 3 in the world. Scorpion King is ranked number 15 in the world. They're very capable drivers. Again, they come from the same kind of background that Picasso came from. They've been racing karts. They've been racing, they moved up to trucks. I've been racing with both of them in trucks for most of the season. And so they're very capable drivers, very capable racers. I'm super excited for them to come in and represent because they are being sponsored, of course, by the UPX Podcast.
I was like, wait, I know those names. I'm pretty sure
Right?
we sponsored them.
So super excited for this new team to come in and excited to see them get out on the track and hopefully give the Mahoney boys a run for their money. And
let's go.
See how it goes. Of course. So let's talk teams. This is the standings that we have right now for the race to 1 million. We've got this season and next season to finish this up. But right now, of course, it's the Mahoney boys on top with 161 points, with Neo MW Motorsports of Metaspook and Wander 1976 in second place with 128. So they're not far behind. This is the board where you can catch up very quickly because this is the combined points of both drivers in each race. So this board can change rapidly. Lots of fun. This week, we are opening up on the Creedmoor circuit. This is a newly track just this season. This is 1.49 miles. It's short, it's fast, it's fun. Cannot wait. We're super excited to be running on the Creedmoor circuit for the first time. We've got 13 turns. We've got a couple of great stretches for some boosts. This is going to be a track that's going to see a lot of action tomorrow. So super excited to be running on the Creedmoor circuit this time around.
Yeah, I love the huge straightaways, and it looks like there's 2 really technical points between 5 and 9, and then 11 and 1. Or actually, I guess 11 and 2, really.
Yeah.
So like 2 really technical areas with 2 big, areas to kind of let go some of that boost and get some speed. I love that it's 13. Like, what a perfect number for Creedmoor. 13.
I know, right? 13 turns on their track.
Playing that, but love it.
Yeah, that was perfect timing. Perfect. They did it nice. All right, so we're releasing the heats for tomorrow. We've got heat number 1. This one's sponsored by Funky Beats Art Space. Thank you, Funky Beats, for your sponsorship. Metaspook, Akapropi, Scorpio King 3, TB 125, Almost Human, and Matsuda. Now, this is the first time that I've actually done the heat draws where we didn't get 2 racers of the same team in a heat in like 6 races, I think. So this is each team got a racer in each heat for the first time in 6 races. So that's going to be cool to watch. So we have potential to see some teams get doubled up in the finals tomorrow. So that's heat number 1. And heat number 2, sponsored by myupland.info. This is Wander 1976, Buellman, San Mahoney, Picasso, Ja Rashad, and JH 2271 running in heat number 2. So we've got very competitive races in both heats. It's going to be just a radically exciting race tomorrow. I can't wait for it.
Love it.
Mm-hmm.
And this is our calendar for the rest of the season for the Stock Car Competition Series, of course, sponsored by the UPX Podcast. So we're on Creedmoor tomorrow. Then we are going out to LA and checking out the Real Node Tour, another first-time track for us for this season. Then we're going to do Twin Lakes, Metaforce Raceway, Recurrier, sponsoring across the board there for Metaforce Raceway. Can't wait to get out on that track. Another new track is Iceman International Speedway in Los Angeles as well. China North Central. We've also never ran that track before. That's a new track that Dr. TID is bringing to us out at Tyner Central. And then Castle Run Reverse. This is the first reverse track in Upland. So this is the Castle Run Speedway in Kansas City. If you go out and look at it, there's the Castle Run Reverse Speedway right next door. So you can run this track in reverse now. So this is the first reverse track in Upland. Yeah.
That seems super cool.
And it's not actually going in reverse. It just goes the other way around.
No. I get it. It's like no. I've played Mario Kart.
But that would be really awesome, though.
That would be insane. Like just like backing up,
just driving backwards all the way around. Yeah.
Yes, that would be. No, I get it. So is that something that's open? Like any track can have like a reverse version of it?
So I preface that by saying it is an exact track, with the exception of one street. So I own this track, and in order for the Upland to approve it, I had to change one street on the track. So there's one street change. But other than that, it's an identical track in reverse.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So
that's super cool.
Yeah. And then, of course, finishing up the season again on Northumberland.
Nice.
Pigeon, I might take you up on that. I mean, well, I guess I have to come in the top 3 still. I don't know how. Wait. So what's the benefit like of getting in the top 10? I just get like some rewards?
UPX.
First place is 150,000 UPX.
If it's UPX, I don't care.
Second place is 100,000 UPX. Third is 75. 4th through 10th is 50,000, and then each 1 through 10 also gets a special block explorer.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
All right.
A block explorer.
Block explorers are pretty cool. Is it? But it's not a Sheffy. No, you can't get.
Who wants to win a cart? Let's do it. Hashtag Sheffy right now. We're going to give away mint number 5 of this.
And when you win this, series, inevitably somebody sell it to me. I want all of these.
For $1 million UPX.
I've been wanting to get one of these.
I want it. I want them all. This is my favorite cart.
Hashtag Sheffy. This is mint number 5 of 20.
Oh, is it 2? No.
I'm holding my breath. My card.
Wait, is it? Oh, dude, it is. I did it wrong.
2 Fs.
2 Fs. 2 Fs.
Hashtag Sheffy with 2 Fs.
2 Fs.
I'm holding my breath. My first card should be approved in the next week. If not, I'm going to be like emailing support.
You got a card coming?
I got a card coming.
How many mints?
720.
All right. Can I reserve mint 17?
You can reserve mint 17. It's gonna be a Mardi Gras float card.
Done. Oh, that sounds freaking dope.
Nice. Yeah, it does.
I'm from New Orleans, so I
love it. I like the personal cards. That's why this one's my favorite, because it's Mass Chef. It's the Chefy Go kart. Like, I like personalized cards. Like, I like a cart that represents the person. Like, if I ever do one, it's gonna be like a turtle shell one. Like, and maybe we can collaborate. Like, I would love like a turtle shell with a top hat, kind of thing, with maybe some like badges hanging off the back. Like,
that would be awesome.
Like, it'd be freaking sweet.
Hell yeah, it would.
Yeah. Get it. Oh, you sent me.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
I usually hate Discord, but you know what? Now, oh my. Yeah, that's dope as hell. Oh, I got a sneak peek of it. The Mardi Gras float cart looks awesome. That would be so fun to race with.
Yeah.
Holy cow. Yes. Is that who modeled that for you? Was that D-Tech?
No, who modeled that for me? Hombre?
Oh, okay. I feel like there was it gives me the same kind of vibes as there was a decoration, a house decoration that was Mardi Gras themed that kind of looked like that.
No. So I'm gonna make other Mardi Gras float carts. I'm just seeing how this one's gonna go, but
Well, you should definitely make some more limited edition. 750 is the high mint.
well, I'm starting out because I want to give out a bunch of cards. I want
Which is fair. Like, I'm just saying, like, from a collect, like, just make sure that you also, like, I love this theme, though, because, like, and even, like, you've done it, because I was like, wait, and then I was like, oh, I get it, because, like, the floats, almost, they have, like, full wheel coverings usually, right?
Yeah.
And I'm guessing that's one of the rules is the wheels have to still be exposed.
Yes.
Like, have to be visible.
Mm-hmm.
Because
I wanted the wheels covered, so it looked like it was just floating down the street, but
right,
it's a float.
Yeah.
And there's so much you can do. That was a culture shock when I got stationed down in that region, and Mardi Gras started like a month and a half beforehand with all the parades, and it went all across the Gulf Coast. It just wasn't in New Orleans, it was across the Gulf Coast. And it's like, I'm like, this is amazing. And
you know what I want? I want golden beads. I want a golden beads cart. And it's just full of like Mardi Gras beads, but like gold Mardi Gras beads just all over it. Like something like that.
Well, it's got Mardi Gras beads on it, so.
There's so many different Mardi Gras beads.
Yeah,
it's insane. I had boxes and boxes of beads.
The problem was trying to keep the triangles down enough.
Oh,
so too much
polygon?
surface. Yeah, polygons. That's it.
Yeah, you got polygon limits. Yeah, that'll get you. I mean, it looks sharp. It looks so cool.
But I do want one. I'm fingers crossed I get a Chevy car.
All right, let's see.
Fingers crossed you don't, because it sounds like you wouldn't sell it to me. So
I haven't heard back from StreamYard yet, so we'll find out though.
Oh,
about yeah,
you
just
need to pick it.
Yeah, but I don't know how to grab. I got to figure another way to grab the goldsmith.
Hey, dude, hey, I looked up the shirt. You gotta hook it up. Metaventurist, congrats.
Metaventurist, excellent. Hit me up in the in-game chat, and we'll make sure to arrange to get your card for you.
Jimmy's got it. Jimmy's got it. There you go. That's your for sure. That one sells out immediately. That one sells out.
And you just got to disguise it so it's not as obvious.
Right? I call it a sneaky tip.
Well, so I was hoping to have them already approved because Mardi Gras is about to start. Actually, it's starting in New Orleans right now. Yeah. So I wanted to have the carts ready right now.
Yeah.
But
yeah. Well, we're all on the Upland timeline for cart releases.
Exactly.
Should have did it last year.
I have
Genesis.
I am currently waiting on 9 carts to be approved. I have
oh wow.
I have 2 more ultra rares, 1 rare, and 6 exclusive carts that I'm releasing. So hopefully that'll be someday.
That's awesome.
Very awesome. All right, you guys
have
anything?
So that's racing. I'm good.
Look forward to getting the update next week and going to week 2 of the racing season.
Right. So just so everybody knows, next week URL will not be racing next week because we have the the Upland Racing Series finals that are happening next week. So we're doing that instead of Upland, instead of the Ultimate Racing League, just because the double headers are too much. It's they take everything out of me for the day. So we're trying to eliminate the double headers. So we're going to be doing Upland Racing Series next week, and then we will be back for week number 2 of the Ultimate Racing League the following week.
Season ends on the 15th, so y'all try to catch up to me on that board there.
That's right.
I don't know about any of that.
If you haven't done it yet, get out there and get racing, because now's a perfect time to do it because CP can't take everything.
Yeah, no, and it really, I scoff at those prize pools, not in a more in a just way, because honestly, I want other Uplanders to go out there. This is a great opportunity. If you don't have one of these cars, don't reach out to me. I'm not going to let you borrow one. Go get one from the secondary market and race, because you have a good chance of getting that UPX back, right?
Mhm.
Like, 50,000 UPX if you do a couple seasons like that, and you're going to get the Block Explorer. And I will likely what kind of Block Explorers are they?
It's a little here.
Gosh, yeah, I don't even remember. I have to.
I got it. It's the Wonderland manufacturer. I can send it to you real quick.
Okay. Because likely as a BE collector, I will probably buy the BE from you as well, so you can make some additional money, especially if you end up getting like a mint one. I would likely buy some of those from you. So that's additional profit if you don't want to keep the Block Explorer. You can certainly reach out to me.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, I mean, that looks stupid as hell, but I will definitely still buy it.
Now the interesting thing though is
it doesn't. I'm sorry, Upland. I actually like that they're thematic. So like seasonally, this Wonderland, and sorry, I should not be negative, because in all actuality, I love that it's been thematic. I love the Wonderland manufacturer. Like, it's a really kawaii. I know that's the theme, kawaii, like cutesy. And this one actually fits the bill.
And this will go to your seasonal collection score, and it will be issued after the season closes. So even if you bought it after it was issued, this is going to go into your collector score for the season. So you can't buy it secondary to impact it. So the only way to get it to impact your seasonal collector score is to win this racing.
No.
Well, wait, if it's not issued till after the season, then it doesn't impact your score until next year.
No, it does. The Upland already stated that once the season closes, there's going to be updates to the scoreboard, because you're going to have the
things
badges,
like this.
The badges go out, and these Block Explorers go out.
Whoa! Well, that changes thing by a lot, because that's a rare Block Explorer that could really tip the balance.
Well,
man, I'll be honest, I don't know that I'm going to be able to do the seasonal, because there's some people that are just really going to be good.
But that goes to 1st through 10th place for all the circuits.
For all 5 boards.
Yeah, there'll be 52 of them given out.
52. Yep.
So it's not super rare, but it's still a low mint run.
What am I?
Because the championship series is 12.
It's 12.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Bullet has been trying to get me to give him the one from Sizzle season, where they gave out special ones to the top 12 in the racing season.
Yeah.
He's like, come on, sir.
What's
because we didn't race that season.
What's his offer?
That's my trophy. I'm not giving up my trophy.
Oh,
yeah.
Everything's got a price.
He'd have to pry that one from his cold, dead hands.
Yeah.
You telling me I offer you $1 million UPX? You're not selling it to me?
No.
Okay.
I think my account's bigger than yours, so you're not.
No, your account is not bigger than his.
It's definitely not. Definitely.
Well,
not.
okay. My monthly's bigger than yours.
Nope, I bet not either.
I mean, I earn over $1 million a month.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah, and your account's not bigger than mine.
Okay, well, you have my mint net worth is higher than yours.
I don't. Your mint.
Yeah.
What? How many properties you own?
No, my mint net worth is bigger than yours. You have a higher purchase price value in the account than me.
I don't know. I don't know.
We're pulling this up now.
Pulling what up? What are we comparing? So I know what I'm getting. What he wants.
I'm 1.62 million a month.
Oh yeah, you make more. I mean, I haven't optimized my collections in forever, and honestly, most of the spending of the last 2 years has been stuff that doesn't earn me UPX.
Yeah,
like that's why what's your collector score? What's your overall collector score? What place are you on?
Oh, I'm not worried about that right now.
Oh, exactly. Oh, how convenient that's the thing you're not worried about. The thing that you would not have a chance at ever coming
on the line.
No, I'm not. Well, you also have time on me in Upland, but my 2025 goal is to hit CE level.
Okay, so We do have
CE.
CE, yes.
I'm already CE.
Yes, I know.
Oh, so you're not even CE. So what are we even talking about? You're not even CE. Get out of here. You're on my list.
Okay, all right. You've also spent way more on properties than I have.
Oh yeah, no, my in-game spending, I got it from the marketing team 2 years ago, was 6 figures.
No, because the mint value of properties, well, yeah, he spent more on it. So yeah, total value of properties is 138,313,166 UPX for ThankMeLater. So that's your total value of properties. And then City Pigeons is 75,360,246 UPX. So the mint value though, the mint value, City Pigeons mint value is 92,144,049. So he got a bunch of under market stuff, while your mint value is 86,866,510.
Oh, because you bought a bunch of garbage in the secondary market that was all half price. So your account's full of day-old meat while I have all the prime cut. Okay, yeah, I'm fine with that. City Pigeon, you're right. If you are the City Pigeon, then I am the City Eagle. And you know what? You can keep your shit.
Wow, this turned south quickly.
What? Jimmy got the #1 mint? What?
Well, he can't beat me in racing, so I got to try to compete him with something else.
I mean, no, you can't. I can't compete with you in racing in any. I bow down to you in racing. Like, there's no competition there at all. Like, I won't even pretend that I have any say in that world. That is your world, and you own it. But you want to come over and start talking properties? You want to start talking collector score? You better be coming correct against me. You're not even a CE. You don't even get to go see. You're not even going to be at the CE brunch in Vegas. So
I don't know. I just upped my account about 3 million in the past few days to my CE level.
Let's go. I hope I see you at the. I would love for you to join us at the 3rd or 4th annual. I guess fourth annual CE, one that I have been in now for 3 years.
Yeah,
so,
I'm working it. You just let's talk in a month.
I'll sponsor someone to beat him in a race. I did. They're called the Fast Trackers. I sponsored Scorpion and
Shah Rashad.
Yeah, Shah Rashad. And Almost Human, I paid. Almost Human got like 3 mil out of me this week from buying Block Explorers from him. I got drunk with power. I was just I'm buying them all. And then I was like, I way overpaid. I didn't negotiate at all. He's like, here's what I didn't check price. I was just like, I'll do it. I don't care. I want them. I regret nothing.
That's the spirit.
Shit, who do you think can beat City? Who? Oh, I think Suda.
So man, opening a big can of worms with that one. I have personally seen Crowley 27 beat him a few times. I've seen Cruzarito beat him a few times. Granted, not very often, but I've seen it happen. So yeah, I mean, it is possible. You just got to catch him on a bad day, If he got it.
Crowley's got his start off finish, his start off in racing. That if he places first, he normally will beat me because he's got a good way at skidding people out.
No, I'm gonna be good.
Yeah. Last night was last night, TML.
Yeah, right.
Let me go because we're good. We're good. We're good. It's good.
All right, City, thank you so much for joining us this week. Really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me on again.
Yeah.
Always, man. Hey, now that link, don't tell anybody and definitely don't share it, but you can join us anytime.
Yeah, it stays the same.
Yeah, that's a permalink.
Okay.
This is a builder of the honestly.
I feel nice knowing that I'm invited back.
Yeah, absolutely, man. We love having you. Anybody who can achieve the level of kind of just total domination in any part of this game, I think is someone we would want on the show anytime that they want to join. And as far as I'm concerned, you are hands down one of the top racers, much like Russell Envy, one of the top treasure hunters. Like, you're the type of players that I think the community loves to hear from. You know, we see your name all the time. So getting to know you more individually, I think putting a face to the name really helps people also go, hey, look, he's not a bot. He's just an old dude who has nothing better to do than playing this crappy racing game. I don't know what to tell you guys. I don't know what to tell you.
Talking about that, and right after X1 commented or released the video explaining the Sparklet Wars, I'm like, it's asking which one you want to be on. I'm like, I don't know, either Pirates or Cyborg. I had the response from Upland, which I believe is X1, was, you feel like a Cyborg player to us. Evolve, adapt, dominate.
Dominate. Yeah. Dominate. That's true.
Right. All right. I'm out of here, guys. Don't forget to check us out tomorrow, 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Upland or for Ultimate. Got myself on that one. Ultimate Racing League, week number 1 from the Creedmoor circuit. And we will see you guys on the track.
And make sure you get a nap in there, Chef, because there's a big game tomorrow night.
I know. I will be all over it. Believe me.
All right. We'll talk to you next week.
Well, have a good night.
CP, have a good one, brother.
All right. You got anything else before we get out of here for the week?
Yeah. So, I do want to address, we are still, the Spark Exchange is still down. Yes. Time to talk some vibes. The Spark Exchange is still down. We're still waiting for Upland to fix their protocols. I'm going to reach out to Stosh over the next 3 days, and hopefully we can get it up and running. Somewhat, I want to figure out a way that we can figure out a workaround. My worry is, and his worry is very real. If we put it up, it's going to have a bunch of caveats that go, hey, we're not entirely sure that we're going to be able to capture all of the transactions correctly, because the transactions are coming through, as I've explained, the transactions for charging cars look like the same kind of transactions on the chain as buildings. And so what happens is that the web crawler and the blockchain crawler that we use finds that transaction and goes, hey, somebody just put 5 Sparklet on this asset. And then it checks the asset database and it goes, I don't have this asset in the database. There must be something wrong, and throws an error. Now that is designed because in order for the asset database to get updated, we have to have, once you start building a structure, that gets added to the chain. And there's a separate web crawler for that periodically updates the list of all of the building asset numbers. And I know this is super technical, but it is important, I feel like, for the people that keep wanting to say it's on us and we're not doing something, like, it's really not. Because what we need Upland to be able to tag the transaction or give us a way to identify that it's a car charging transaction and we can ignore it, or it's a building transaction and we need to verify that ID. Because there are scenarios where the ID hasn't loaded from the other job, and then we would subsequently miss staking and unstaking. It is really complex. And so this is not a simple thing. We were kind of hoping it would be. We were optimistic that Upland would understand very quickly and be able to do something as simple as adding a note or adding a code to it to just say, hey, car versus building. I thought you got clarity you needed. So the clarity I got was, I understand why we're down now. Just John, I have your number, Jonathan. Don't make me call you. And again, nothing is going to be rushed. That is exactly why it hasn't been reopened, because the second that we reopen it, if we have a mismatch in the transactions or someone doesn't get paid correctly, that is going to have a lot of consequences as far as the trust in this utility. So we don't want to rush it. We aren't rushing it. When it comes out of maintenance, it will be ready and thoroughly tested. Now, that being said, the other thing that is happening is we are starting the build for what is the working title is the UPX Dojo. I am going to go ahead because I do have approval from the Hyde Park Ninjas. This will actually be a co-branded app with the Hyde Park Ninjas, likely final title being something like Hyde Park Ninja Dojo Experience, where it will be a Block Explorer battle game. You will take your Block Explorer and its vibes stats. So those of you who aren't familiar with vibes, it is a virtual inventory of Block Explorer stats, aka vibes, and you will get your 6. There are 6 different dimensions that your character gets based off basic D&D. Don't worry, you don't have to know anything about Dungeons and Dragons. It's going to be very simple. It's letters, colors, numbers. I'm keeping it simple: red, yellow, blue, and secondary colors. And essentially, you'll fight your way through a dungeon or a dojo in this case, and you'll face different bosses. And spoiler, some of those bosses are going to be my Block Explorers. Now, this isn't in the MVP, but what I want people to get excited about is at the end of the dojo, you fight the dojo boss. Think of like Pokemon being a gym leader. Well, at the end of that, you get a badge, which, hey, I do love badges, but this is even cooler because when you beat a dojo leader, it takes a snapshot of your Block Explorer at that time and then makes you the dojo leader. Now, each dojo will start out with probably, I think 16 is the number we came up with, and I'll tell you why that number is important here in a second. Say 16 dojo leaders, with the idea being these are pretty easy to beat. You should not be losing to the level 1 dojo leaders. Level 2 and 3 might take a couple seasons to beat. And yes, we are following seasons. So this is super important. We are going to adopt the Upland seasonality. So our goal and our plan is to have the alpha released with the Frost season. So that will be the alpha Frost season. And that is the goal, to have an alpha prototype that people can use their own Block Explorers, add a gem, red, yellow, blue, and that'll determine essentially which primary stat you use to attack and defend. And so it'll be very basic. But at the end of that season, it'll take the 16 leaders or whoever the top leaders are, and there'll be a tournament of champions during the 2-week downtime, which actually corresponds now with Sparklet Wars. So again, you kind of have your on season with a bunch of cool events, and then your off season with specialty events. So this is going to be a great opportunity. And the thing I didn't tell you is this is also how you will earn your Block Explorers will have the opportunity to earn passive UPX. And the way that you can earn this passive UPX is as a dojo leader, you get to defend the dojo. And so let's say that a player, it costs, I don't know, we haven't figured out the numbers. I'm going to say 100 UPX to run the dojo. And at the end, if you lose to that dojo master or the dojo leader, they will get some of your entry fee as a reward for defending the dojo. Obviously, the dojo will get its cut, but then the dojo leader gets its own cut as well. So if you are a dojo leader and you successfully defend the dojo against incoming attackers, your Block Explorer will earn you UPX throughout the season for as long as it's the dojo leader. So that is something I'm really excited about, being able to, earn rewards in a new and exciting way with Block Explorers. And this is just the start of it. And I can't be more excited. I know John is in the audience. He is the leader of GAT Studio, who's also working with Rodrigo on a really cool golfing game. I think he's actually working with the Hyde Park Ninjas on a completely different game. And then with us on this Block Explorer battle game. So the GAT Studio team is becoming an integral part of the Upland ecosystem. I am very excited with that partnership and very pleased. The communication has been fantastic. John himself is very responsive, which I appreciate and love. The team has been asking great clarifying questions. And honestly, like I've been giving them the requirements and they're like, this seems super simple, man. Like, are you sure you don't want to do something harder? And I'm like, look, I'm not trying to recurrier this on the first go around. Okay. No, I had to do that for Jim. That was for Jim. I love you, recurrier. But no, absolutely super excited. John, and for those of you who don't know GAT Studio, like they were, they're a Roblox studio, they're a sandbox studio, and sorry, buddy, I had to. It's all love. So you'll have the season to train your Block Explorer, correct? You'll have all season to train your Block Explorer, and then the 2 weeks will be a battle royale. So all the dojo leaders will fight each other out in a tournament style for large UPX and other rewards. So the rewards might include scrolls that increase your stats for the next season, specialty gems, all kinds of really cool stuff. So you're going to want to be a part of that. The GAT Studio guys, unbelievably talented in this space. Again, they've worked with platforms like Roblox before and Sandbox, so they understand the challenges of working in kind of the meta space with layer 2s. So honestly, I don't think there could be a better partnership. If 30 Rock fans, we have the 3 heats. We got the third heat, and the third heat for us was GAT Studio. Like we got the backing with Stash. We got the ridiculous, insane ideas over here for me with just spiraling ADHD, and now GAT Studio in there to get us all, speaking the same language and rowing the same way, and absolutely talented team. I couldn't be more excited, especially now with Upland hitting their stride with the Sparklet Wars. Like 2020, it's the 9th. Can we take a second to realize, like, it is January 9th of a new year, and we're already, like, there's so much cool stuff happening. So we're using Spark Tycoon assets to train. Yes, not only will you be using Spark assets to train, there's going to be a whole set of new Spark Tycoon assets. And I'm going to tell you here, I'm going to give you guys a little sneak peek at, like, what as CPO, as Chief Product Officer over, these products. One thing, like if you're a Spark Tycoon player and you have a bunch of resources and you're really worried, hey, I don't have a lot of value in these, I'm collecting them and I don't really know why. Let me tell you that you are not forgotten. As we expand out, one of the community suggestions was to have warehouses where it would limit the number of resources that you could have of any given thing. So let's say you can only have X amount of wood. When that comes out, one of the suggestion that I have, which I think will pass without any issue, is that we take all of the existing resources in that resource pool and we mark them as heirloom. And all of your heirloom items will not count against your total inventory need. So what that means is, like, these are special, like it's a special wood. It still does the exact same function as normal wood. It functions, everything else stays the same, except it doesn't count against your limit cap. Why that matters is that as whales come back into the game and they want to buy a bunch of wood to be able to build structures quicker, they'll have to start with small warehouses. So the amount of wood that they will be able to hold will be very limited. Oh, yeah. He does. Well, that's fine. He asked me if I had any updates. Here's my updates.
Yep. I did this to myself.
Yeah, you have no one to blame but yourself here. And these heirloom items, you can imagine over time, they will become less and less, and they will become more and more rare and more valuable because whales don't want to wait. They want to pay to win. That's their whole premise. So these heirloom items that all of the OGs and all of you that are actively playing Spark Tycoon, good. God made wood. Wood is good. You can't argue with that.
Really, Cheese? The skipper? Come on.
The skipper? No, I can see that. I'll let you be my skipper.
All right, little buddy.
Yeah. How much wood could you hold if you could hold wood? He is the captain. No, he was the captain. He was the captain that got them stranded.
Yeah.
Like, everyone seems to forget that. Like, no. What about the professor? I think you could be the professor. Anyway, lots of good stuff happening. I can't believe it's only January 9th. Like, he did it on purpose. Yeah, that's because he thought he was going to hook up with that actress. That never happened. Although there is a version of that I found on the internet where it does happen. Anyway.
Move along.
I'm squirreled. I'm squirreled.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, I actually have. Look, I got something for this. Squirrel. I'm not gonna say that I bought this for it, but I bought it because I saw it and I was like, it's a squirrel. Squirrel. I got nothing, dude. Ginger or Marianne, why not both? What is happening here?
Stop it.
This was such a good show. Why didn't we end 20 minutes ago?
Because you decided to talk about vibes and answer questions and all that stuff.
Yeah, well, that was... Anyway, it's going to be really cool. I'm really excited about it. So if you're not already in the UPX Spark Exchange server, please go ahead and join that. We have lots of updates there.
Oh, jeez.
The millionaires? I don't know. All right. We won't leave anyone out. All right. That's it.
All right. Everybody be safe, have fun, and we'll see you out there in the metaverse.
The UPX Podcast with the property expert. If it's happening in Upland, it's the place you want to check first. With your host who's stupid to win and thank me later. Bringing the strategy, news, and cool charts with all the data. This is Upland, where the metaverse goes down. Genesis, San Fran, to Rio, and all around. Don't miss a week, you never know what they'll say next. It's the Upland Property Experts, baby, UPX.